Okay, you feather merchants, this is going to be about the 2000 riot in Pelican Bay. Anyway, I was on the security squad when that riot kicked off. So we responded to the yard as they were letting the inmates out in the yard. And I couldn't help notice that wow, there's a lot of people coming out on that yard, way more than usual. And then I saw it was either two, maybe three inmates, southern Mexican inmates, that were caught with a weapon on them. And usually, I mean, they catch someone, but not two or three. So that was unusual. And so anyway, we waited till I was with my partner. We waited until the yard came out, and we were talking about it. You know, there's so many people on the yard. So anyway, we decided to do a cell search in 5 block. It was on B yard. So we go to 5 block, and I asked the control booth officer, I said, who's left in his cell? Because that would be the cell that we would hit. Because there's only a couple of different reasons an inmate would stay back in his cell. Usually because they're guarding a weapon, drugs, or they're going to masturbate, you know. I don't care about the masturbation part, but the drugs and the weapon would be of interest to me. So anyway, he told me, he says, they all went out. I thought, they all went out? There's always someone left. They never do that. So we go upstairs and enter a cell, and we're talking about this and thinking, you know, I think something's going to kick off, you know. Neither one of us dreamed that it would turn into what it turned out to be. And while we're talking about that, all of a sudden we heard the announcement on the yard to get down. And the gunfire started. And they were shooting out of, you could hear them, they're shooting out of the building we were in, and of course, all the other buildings, the yard gunner, and they first, when a riot would start like that, you first introduce gas. And if that doesn't work, you start using the rubber rounds. And if that doesn't work, they're going to use the Mini 14. And we ran down the stairs, ran through the section door, and I could see out the window as we asked the control booth officer to open the door. And I looked out the window. The entire yard was engulfed in gas. And I'm seeing people running every different direction. I mean, it was like real chaotic. I've seen a lot of riots, but I never saw anything quite this big. And I was thinking to myself while we were waiting for the control booth officer to open the door, out of all the places that I'd like to be on this planet, this yard is probably on the end of the list. And that door opened, and we stepped out into that yard, and we started using, we had MK9 canisters at the time, OC canisters, and we used that on several inmates. And I got this cat that is making a lot of noise over here. Anyway, then we resorted to using the baton. And the whole time I'm thinking, you know, gee, if these inmates ever were to turn on us, we wouldn't have a chance. But beyond that, you got to figure there's a gunner in each building. There's 8 buildings, and there's a yard gunner, the shooting in the yard. And there's times where, we qualify, we go to the range. I see guys maybe miss their target and even hit my target. And this is like a paper target that's not moving. And on top of that, those mini 14 rounds, they hit the ground, they'll ricochet. And so with that many bullets, I'm thinking we got a good chance of getting hit by one of those ourselves. This riot went on for about a half hour. And it seemed like a lot longer. There was only, I think when it started, I think there was only about 5 of us on that yard. And there were about, I'd say around 300 inmates. And the black inmates, they were caught totally off guard. And I think what happened was the guys in the back, they got word out to the southern Mexicans that the night before, because most of the weapons, they were made that evening. And they had some that were like they had already made, but most of them, we recovered 89 weapons, and we didn't get them all. There was a lot of the weapons went back into the buildings when we when we were clearing the yard, when it was all over with, and I know a lot of those weapons went back in there. And amid all the yard, there was a lot of toilet paper and cellophane, so you can see where most of those weapons had been keistered. They were hidden in their rectum. A lot of those guys, they're so good at that, they could stick a weapon in their rectum and go play basketball. It's like you got to wonder about having a skill like that, Anyway, we ran out of gas. And like I said, the whole yard was engulfed in gas. I think the gunners, the yard gunners, I think they ran out of gas too. They used everything they had. And one thing I saw that was really concerning is when I looked up on the roof line next to where the yard gunner is, or where the tower gunner, I saw several guys with mini 14s running down on the roof, and they laid down. And I don't know if anyone really shot from that roof line, but they were prepared to, if something that those inmates were not going to leave that fenced-in area, and if they did, that'd be the last thing they'd remember doing, So they, like I said, the blacks, they were caught completely off guard, and some of them fought really well. It was like one guy in particular, one black guy, he was pretty big, and I saw him in previous riots, and he always, he was a good fighter. I don't know who he was. I wouldn't mention any names anyway, but this guy definitely had boxing skills, and he was big, and he was leading the pack. There was a large number of blacks that were behind him, and he was slinging them. And he was actually under the yard gun when that one particular inmate was shot and ended up dying. And the southern Mexican that went to stab him, and you can see in the film footage, he raises his arm up like this, and he actually looked up at the gunner, and he went to stab that particular black inmate that had fallen down at the time, and that's when the gunner took the shot. I couldn't believe that he was able to shoot him from that group of fighting inmates. And that didn't stop the riot. They stopped momentarily, and then it started up again, and they just kept doing that. It was just incredible. Anyway, it was the biggest riot I'd ever been in, and I ended up taking most of the crime scene photos. I went to the hospital, and I took all the photos of the injuries. And it's been over 20 years, and I can't remember how many people were shot or stabbed. There was quite a few of them now, and like I said, I just don't remember how many were injured. But when I went into the B Yard Clinic in the aftermath of this, there was blood all over the floor. There was blood on the walls. It looked like a war zone, and you could hear the ambulances coming in from Crescent City one at a time, hauling people out of there. It's no correctional staff were injured in that riot. Which was good, but anyway, it was like no experience that I've ever had before. It was really incredible to be part of that, and I certainly wouldn't want to go through something like that again. Anyway, that's about it for that riot, and there'll be more videos coming. So if you have any questions, just ask them in the comment section, and I'll reply to your comments. Okay, you feather merchants, I'm going to sign off. Okay.